Welcome to the Lipstick Living channel. I am Rachel and I am your favorite lipstick lesbian. I am setting up my bullet journal for April in this video, and I decided to do a Polaroid camera slash daisy theme. I thought that it was very fitting for springtime, and I'm really excited for spring season this year. So I thought daisies would be perfect, and they're really, really simple to draw. So I thought that I could incorporate something simple with the camera doodle, which is a little more intricate. It's still pretty easy to draw, but it's just a little more intricate than my doodles and drawings from last month. So I am just doing a little Polaroid picture for my quote page that has daisies in it and it says spring. And then I chose a spring quote that says, a lovely reminder of how beautiful change can be. And I thought this was very fitting for spring, but also my life right now because I will be moving to a new city and a new state in a couple of weeks. And this is all happening very fast, but I just wanted to remind myself that change is a good thing, and even when it happens quickly. So I am just using my Tombow brush pens to color in the little Polaroid. I use this like light tan color for the background, and then I kept the daisy petals white, obviously, and in the middle is a yellow Tombow. And I will link all of my supplies used in the description below. I use my Tombow Fudenosuke. I don't know how to pronounce that pen, but it's a calligraphy pen. So I use that to trace mostly everything in this setup. And then I do use a couple of my Micron pens for some of the headers. And I use that Micron pen to fill in the daisies because I wanted them to be a little bit of a thinner line than the rest of like the Polaroid and the pictures. So I'm just tracing those in, and I just traced a Polaroid camera picture. I like not actually traced it, but I just looked at it to draw out the Polaroid camera in pencil first. And I pretty much always go in pencil first before I set up anything. And that way I can erase and change things and edit things before I actually make it permanent in pen. If I didn't do that, my bullet journal setup would be atrocious because I am not that good of an artist. So I am just coloring in the right side, which is just the Polaroid camera, of course, and then it has like a little picture coming out of it, and I decided to put the month on that, and I put April at the top, of course. And then in that little circle where the camera is supposed to be on that camera, I just traced April over and over with like dots in between. Okay, so now I am moving on to my calendar page, and I decided to do a little string of Polaroid pictures at the top that spell out April, and then I doodle some daisies behind that, and I have two smaller little Polaroid pictures on the left side for my goals and my tasks. For my color scheme, I decided to go with more muted, like tan and, just more muted colors, just with pops of yellow. I wanted that like daisy middle to be a pop of yellow and then have like more muted yellows and tans to complement it. So I mostly do the background of the Polaroid pictures in this tan color, and then I will do the pops of yellow. And for my lines on the calendar page or on the calendar, I chose to do this like yellowy green color and this mustard yellow color as well. And I thought it tied in pretty well. And then I found some washi tape that I really liked that I thought tied in with the theme as well. So I add little strips to the top of those Polaroid pictures. And then for my next setup, this is going to be my social media plan. And for this month, I decided to not do a Dutch door and have a full 2-page layout because am running out of space. I've found in my little Dutch door that I've made, and I have to do a bunch of edits because sometimes I need to move posts and videos around to different days. And when I use my whiteout, like little roller, tape roller whiteout, it just looks really bad. So I think having more space to write down ideas and notes and my progress on my social media following would be good. So I'm just going to try it out for this month. And if it is too much space, I will definitely go back to the Dutch door for my next month's spread. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with that still, but I just thought I would give myself a little more space this month to see if it helps. I keep it very, very simple with this setup. I just leave space at the bottom for ideas and then on the sides for notes. And then in the middle, I write out the days of the month on the left and then the date and then the day beside it. And I'll write down what I'm actually going to post on those bars right there. And then on the top corners where I have the Polaroid pictures, I will mark my progress for my following on Instagram and YouTube. And I know there's a lot of lines, but I think it'll help me be able to see things better. And I use this social media setup a lot. I use it pretty much every day. So I need it to be more functional than aesthetically pleasing, but I still think it looks nice. It's just a little boring because of all the lines. But I tried to add washi tape to it and then it just kind of looked too chaotic. So I ended up taking the washi tape off. So for my next spread, it's going to be my habit tracker and mood tracker. And I did decide to do a full page for my habit tracker this month. Last month, I tried tracking it in my weekly spreads, but I found out that I wasn't really keeping up with it. And that could just be because March has been chaotic and very stressful with work and a lot of things happening, changing, just it's a lot. So it could be that I'm just not doing my habits and I'm not looking at my planner as much, but I am going to try and do a full habit tracker spread this month and hopefully I will keep up with it and track everything here. I have been doing really well with my mood tracker. Sometimes I will forget a day, but the next day I'll go in and fill it in. So I am keeping up with it pretty well. And I decided to do another little Polaroid camera doodle at the bottom with Polaroid pictures kind of spilling out of it. And then on each picture is going to be a different habit. And I just write in the dates 1 through 30 for April. And I didn't do it in like the calendar, like the traditional calendar sense, because I couldn't fit 7 little columns on this, but I just wrote out the numbers 1 through 30 and I will just do a little dot for each day that I do that habit. And my 7 I chose are make bed, read, eat healthy, clean, meditate, AM routine, and exercise. Okay, so for my mood tracker, I decided to do a little doodle of like this other type of Polaroid camera. It looks like the little Instagram symbol, and I thought that was still kind of fitting to this theme. And I didn't want to draw another similar Polaroid camera that I already did on my habit tracker and on my like main layout. So I went with this different type, and I really like it too because it has like the rainbow in the middle of it. And I thought that would be good to do for my mood tracker because then I can have six different colors to use for my moods. So I then drew little strings with Polaroid pictures for each day, and then I will color in my mood with the corresponding color for each day. And this was very hard to space out. I will say it doesn't look the best with my spacing, but I had spent so much time sketching it and then erasing it and sketching it and erasing it that I was kind of over it at one point. And I probably, looking back, I should have cut out a little square so that I could have traced it, and then that way it would have looked more uniform. So if you are going to do this setup, I would definitely recommend doing that. Like cut out a little square and then tracing it, and that way it looks way more uniform. Um, and then even if your strings are kind of off, it still will look more uniform with the squares being the same size. But I just kind of doodled it because I was over it. I was over sketching and erasing because every time I would draw it out, I would get to the bottom of the page and I wouldn't have enough pictures for how many days there are in the month. I would get to like 27 or something and run out of room. So that is my recommendation if you do this layout. Okay, so now I am just doing my first weekly setup, and I did decide to do only one page because I am going to be moving this week, the first week of April, and I'm technically moving on Friday the 8th, but that first week I will be doing basically just working, coming home, packing, and doing all the stuff that you have to do for a move, which is going to be very stressful and busy, and I am not going to need a lot of space to be like, I'm not going to have a lot of time to be doing much else. So it's not like I need a bunch of space for each day for tasks and whatnot. So I just did a half page or one page, and I did like my normal weekly setup that I usually do with the little rectangular box, and then I have a little Polaroid picture at the top left for my calendar, and then I do like a top three main things I need to have done, and then a notes section. Okay, so that is it for my April setup, and I really loved how it turned out. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video before you go and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. You can also find my Instagram, or you can find me on Instagram at the Lipstick Living. I would love for you to follow me there. I post a bunch of random things, but mostly just my life. So I would love for you to follow. Thank you again, and I will see you in my next one. Happy April, everyone. Bye.